Hi, guys.
Hi, guys. Welcome back.
Yes, welcome back to actual official episode 2 of
WTFLA.
We hope that you enjoyed our first episode, and that's why you're back for number 2, because it took a lot of tries to get there.
And also, before we get 20 minutes in, I'm Rachel.
Oh, yes, and I'm Katja. Thanks for joining. So we thought that we could take this episode to talk about the, whole dating scene.
The brutally honest side of it.
Yes, the dating scene in LA.
Yes.
This
And
picture is trash. I look the same in every picture, huh?
Yes.
But I don't like it. Maybe that's the issue, is that I need to do something different and I look like shit. Maybe I just need a new face.
Well, let's worry about that next episode.
Yes.
So,
I'm already sweating. I thought I could handle the jacket. I'm gonna take it off. Okay. So, let's talk about dating.
Let's talk about dating.
So, Rachel.
I'm single.
You're single. Sorry, I hit that.
And Katja is very much in relationship.
Yes. I've lived here for 7.5 years.
No shit.
Yeah. How long have you lived here?
Like 6.5 now.
Oh, okay. I would say for 7 years of my 7.5 years, I've been in a relationship.
Are you just like a relationship type?
Yeah. I've almost never been single.
I've almost never been in a relationship.
Well, you had a boyfriend all throughout high school.
Yes. I had a boyfriend
But I mean, technically, I guess, since, your age compared with.
Yeah. I had a boyfriend from 15 until almost 20. We lasted 4.5 years. And then that was it.
That was it.
First and only.
Really?
Yeah. Only boyfriend.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
My first, boyfriend was in 9th grade. I was 14. And then he cheated on me. He went to boarding school and then he cheated on me.
Oh.
I know. He had another girlfriend. He was like, yeah, I've had another girlfriend for 2 weeks. I was like, okay, thank you.
I feel like 2 weeks isn't that bad because Chris cheated on me and I'm almost certain, not 100%, but almost certain it was like the last 2 years.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's fucked up.
Yeah. Because I went away to college.
Oh.
So I was living in the dorms.
Mm-hmm.
He decided he wasn't really sure about college yet, so he didn't go.
Yeah.
And instead he decided to find some extracurriculars.
Ooh, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so. I'll just be here. Yeah, so then I had another boyfriend after that. And then I had one more boyfriend after that. That was pretty much like all of my high school were those 3.
Yeah.
And then I moved here and was single for I moved here in September and I got a boyfriend in January. And then I haven't been single since then. Aside from 1 month. So, yeah, but I'm I'm happy with my decisions.
I'm a very relationships scare me. I'm commitment phobia.
Why?
Well, got a lot of problems, don't go to therapy.
Yep, there you go. And that's why everyone should go to therapy. Yeah, I don't know. There's something about being in a relationship that I just I really love.
I really, really love when I'm talking to somebody that I really, really enjoy. I feel like it gives me this extra boost of energy when I wake up in the morning to a text
wake
from
up
them.
to a text. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I feel like I have to do something with my day to report back to them to show them how much progress I'm making in my life.
Right.
So I love that. I love having somebody to kind of report to and be like, I'm doing so well. Yay, But I also hate the what are you doing? Who are you with? And, like,
Yeah.
why are you not home? Texts.
Well, I've definitely had both of the spectrum, like, both sides of the spectrum there, where, like, you know, like, I've had a boyfriend who, like, didn't give a fuck what I was doing. Which, like, for a long time, that was my longest relationship. For a long time, I was like, sick, dude. I can do whatever the fuck I want. And I'm like, it's like I think about it and I'm like, damn, like, if I was on the other end of that relationship, it's like, sometimes I wouldn't come home until 4 a.m. and shit like that. And it was just like, he didn't give a shit. But then, like, you know, like, now that I am older, now I'm like, that's mean that you didn't give a shit what I was doing.
Yeah.
You know, like, so now it's like, I'm on the opposite side of that. And I know a lot of people would, and I used to be on the side where I'm like your boyfriend, like, checks on where you know, like, so against it. But now I'm like, I love that my boyfriend checks where I am. Because it means he gives a shit that I'm not, like, going out and fucking doing whatever the fuck, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I think that to me, that's important, which I didn't know. And that's something that I love about relationships, too, is that you, like, find out, like, what's important to you and, like, you know, what really matters. And to me, I guess that's something that I care about. Like, you give a shit about me. Oh, thanks.
Cute.
Thanks for caring.
Cute.
Yeah.
One thing that I hate about being single, though, is dating apps.
Yeah.
They're awful.
Well, so I've never really... I said in the last episode that I was on... Or, no, I just said I went on a date with a girl. I was on a lesbian dating app. That's how
Really?
Yes, but it was like... I literally was on it for maybe, like, 3 days. I met this girl, and that was kind of the end of it. And then I actually had...
How did the date go? Were you like, yep, definitely not a lesbian? Or were you like, wow, she's a great human, just not the human for me?
Well... she was gorgeous. Let me start off by, and I was like, I can't believe that, like, this dating app is, like, where I found, she looked like Zooey Deschanel. She was gorgeous. She was younger than me, though, like, by a lot. I was probably, like, 25, and I think she was, like, 21. Oh, no, I don't even think she was 21 yet.
Oh, man.
I forget. But we went on a date. We were, like, and I was like, I can't believe, like, we're texting, and I'm like, she's so pretty. I can't believe that, like, you know, whatever. So then we went on a date, and the date was nice. Like, we got along. She does music, so, like, we got along. I do music, for those of you who don't know. So we got along really well. She's a beautiful singer. And we actually were, like, trying to make music at one point. After I had been like, no, like, I'm not down. Like, she still, like, hit me up, and she was like, we should do music. That didn't really happen, though. But we went on the date, and it was nice, and we, like, you know, and then we kissed at the end of the date. Fuck, I don't remember. Oh, I wish I remembered. I don't know. I would assume that I did. I feel like...
Because you were older.
I'm older, and I was, like... Yeah, I don't know.
You were the one, like, testing the waters more, so it was
guess.
more like your experiments. You're like, I'm gonna...
I literally have no idea. I don't remember at all. I'm just assuming that I paid, but I don't know. But we kissed at the end of the date, like, you know, nice, not, like, whatever. And then, like, she said that on the date, she said to me, she was like, she's a very, like, adventurous person, and she does kind of, like, whatever. And I'm like, you know me, I'm so the opposite of that. And so, like, that night, I think, I went to work, and then after I got off work, I work at a bar. So after I got off work, I mean, this is years ago, but, like, so it's a different bar, but, like, but I got off work at 2 something, and then she was like, come do this with me. Like, come, let me pick you up. And I was like, I'm tired. Like, I don't. And she's like, well, you know, like, very adventurous, whatever. And I was like, okay, like, I guess I'll go. So she took me, like, middle of the night on top of this mountain that, like, overlooks the whole city.
Oh my gosh,
it was really cute and really cool. But then, like, I don't know, we were up there, and it was kind of just like, meh. We were, like, cuddling, and I was like, I don't want this. Like, this isn't something that I'm interested in. And so then I think that was kind of, I don't even know if I did. I think I just used, like, the, like, I don't know if I'm ready for, like, a relationship or something. Yeah. So, like, so that ended, like, immediately. That was like literally the one date, and then that was it. And that was the only time that I ever like was like, oh, like maybe I should date a girl, you know, because it was like tried it, done. And then I had Bumble once for like 2 hours or something
2
like that.
hours.
Because I think dating apps are so much fun. Because like just the swiping thing. Like I'm so interested in being so like just shallow and being like like that's
cute,
exactly, like that was so like I would always take my friends' phones and be like, let me go on your Tinder.
Well, I remember when you were staying with me for a bit, like you would like help me bumble around.
I know, because it was so much fun, and I'd
be like, ugh, but his name is Paul, and you'd be like, but he's cute, right? Swipe, and I'm like, well, looks like I'm talking to Paul now.
I think it's so fun, but I was on it for like 2 hours. Someone messaged me or like we matched, I guess.
Yeah.
And the line that he said was like, we should eat cereal together. And I was like, that's creepy. And I deleted the app.
Cereal was too much.
I was like, no. Because realistically, I couldn't imagine myself meeting up with someone that I was just like, oh, like we just met off of an app, like a dating app. Like to me, that was like, I don't understand that. Yeah. And I got rid of the app, and that was the end of that.
Yeah, I like hate. I still have dating apps, but I hate actually meeting up with the guys on the dating apps because
it seems so weird to me.
My whole thing is like, it's not a cute meet.
No, meet cute is what it's called.
Yes.
Oh. That's fine.
Fuck me. It's not one of those. So I mostly just like chit chat with them when I'm bored. Yeah. And I know it's really bad because I'm using somebody else as an entertainment purpose.
Who cares?
And to like boost my ego a little.
Isn't that like what humans do?
You're pretty, and I'm like, oh, thanks. And then I'm like, I'll never meet you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
But I have.
You've met a lot of people off of. I mean, I don't want to say a lot here, people, but
no,
a fair amount.
No, a majority of the guys that I've like dated in LA, I've actually met off Instagram.
Oh, really?
Which
that's interesting. Never met anyone off Instagram.
Which like maybe
maybe photographer or something.
Maybe like that's worse because like it's not a dating app, but I feel like I can like stalk them so much better and get like a better feel for them, and like I don't know. I just feel like they're more... I
don't know if I would say that that's worse because...
I just feel safer about it.
Exactly, because I feel like if you're on a dating app, then you have a goal. Whether that goal is to have sex or be in a relationship, and that's what freaks me out about it, because I was like, all these people are just trying to meet up and fuck, and I was like, that just is creepy to me.
I feel like the whole, like, Instagram thing, like, I would, like, become friends with them first.
Exactly. Like, I feel like that's, like, there's less intention there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, like, you know, we're both in modeling.
Right.
You know, common interests, like, blah, blah, you know. And I feel like it was less, like, message back and forth, okay, let's meet up. Like, it was, like...
Right. You can actually build a...
super, like, oh,
natural.
You liked my photos, I liked your photos, like, oh, comments on something. Like, it just felt like it was slower, and it wasn't so, like, rushed to fuck.
Yeah. Well, that's how Rokas is my boyfriend, that's how we started dating. Because, like, I met him when we were 19, because he was dating a girl that I used to work with.
Oh, good.
And then 5 years later, I followed him on Instagram because I saw him at the gym. We went to the same gym, and then I saw him again at Whole Foods, and I was like...
Your universes just kept colliding.
Exactly. And I was like, damn, you're fucking hot. Like, Jesus. So I followed him on Instagram, and then, like, a couple months later, he started messaging me, and we were, like, sending memes back and forth and shit, and that's how our relationship... I know. That's how our relationship formed, so... Yeah, I think I would say Instagram is a way less, for me personally. Yeah. I don't judge anyone. Like I said, like, dating apps are fun as shit. You get to be super, like, just surface bitch of like, you're ugly, dude.
And like, it doesn't really hurt their feelings because there's so many girls and there's so many guys on the app that, like, as soon as you're like, oh my gosh, I really like them, like, their whole profile just seems so perfect, you like swipe a couple more times and then you
forget about them.
You're like, I don't even remember your first name.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know?
Nothing wrong with that. I think that that's cool.
Yeah. So I don't date people that I meet in acting or modeling because I freelance work, so it's all about networking and who you know.
Right.
And I'm not trying to
be known as
the girl that sleeps with everybody
or
burn
smart of you, because I'm sure a lot of girls in LA
will
take the other route.
Yeah, well, I actually I got hired for a commercial once, and it was $300 a day. It was supposed to shoot 2 days, and the director texted me the night before being like, hey, come out to dinner with me.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm tired. See you tomorrow at work.
Yeah.
And he was like, if you come out tonight, it'll be really beneficial for you tomorrow. And I was like, honestly, really tired.
Yeah.
Have a good night. Like, put it down.
Yeah.
So I get to the shoot the next day, and they send me through hair and makeup and wardrobe, and then I sit there the whole day. They didn't even use me.
Are you kidding?
I got paid, but they didn't use me. So I can't put it on my resume. I don't have that for my
That's
reel.
so fucking rude, dude.
All because I didn't go out to dinner with the guy. And like I've talked to people about it, and they're like, well, maybe you should have just gone out with him. And I'm like, yeah.
No.
But if I did, then for what opportunity would I draw the line?
Absolutely, yeah.
You know?
Well, and it's crazy, because you hear these big stories, of all, the Me Too's and stuff like that, especially in Hollywood.
Yeah.
But it is really true. It happens here so often. I was in an acting class, and one of the teachers was a big-time director, and he is I won't say who it is, but he's directed, big-time movies.
You name the movie. Everybody goes on IMDb.
He's directed... no. Yeah, so he's directed, pretty big-time movies.
Everybody's still gonna, look up, directors that teach acting classes.
Yeah. I don't think this was, a big acting class, actually, because he was teaching it with someone that was not big. So, I feel like he used to be a big director. I feel like he's not so much anymore. Regardless, so I was in this acting class, and... I loved it. I loved being able to go to the acting class, and I loved the connections that I made there, and getting to exercise that, and it was such a nice extracurricular for me. And towards the end, we had one more class left, and after every class, all of us would go to a diner and hang out.
Oh, cute. So
I
you
know.
little friends.
Yeah, exactly. All of us, including
community.
both of the instructors. Yeah.
Little unprofesh, but
Soups,
okay.
But it was really nice. So we had one more class left, and in the last class we had been rehearsing a scene with another partner and blah blah blah. So, the director, who shall not be named, he didn't have a car, so someone would drive him every week and whatever. And in one of I think
what a bum.
I know. In the class, in that class, we have a studio audience right now, so so in that class, he was praising everyone, but I had joined in halfway through the course, yes. And he was praising everyone, saying how he's so proud of how much everyone's grown, and he singled me out and was like, I'm very impressed by your natural talent, and I'm excited to see, what, and I was like, wow, feeling really good,
Yeah.
So then I took him that day to the diner, and while we were in the car, he was like, so what's your plan? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, what do you want to get from this? And I was like, well, I don't really know. I hadn't really thought about that, and he's like, well, do you want to get an agent? Do you want to, whatever. And I was like, I guess, yeah, that sounds cool. I'd like that. And he's like, well, send me your reel and I'll see what I can do. And I was like, cool, okay. So I sent him my reel, and that night he texted me after we all went out, and he was like, that's really impressive. And that's, I think that we should shoot something together. He's like, don't tell anyone else in class, but I'd like to shoot something for you so you can add it to your reel and, say that it was directed by me. And I was like, freaking out, like so excited, like, wow, I can't believe he wants to work with me. I must be really talented.
Or he's really perverted.
Yeah, exactly. Which, and you know what? It's so sad too, because after this whole experience, it's like, it makes me doubt myself that I'm like, maybe I'm not even good and he just wanted to fuck me, you know? I know. So, whenever, I don't know when the next time we saw each other, but it was before the next class, the last class. And he's like, come meet me here. Mm-hmm. We'll meet up and talk about everything. So we met at a restaurant, daytime. Mm-hmm. We are eating and he's like, okay, well, let's come up with a scene. So we come up with this scene together, and he steers me into this direction of the scene being, it is the thoughts, what's happening is that the girl is getting raped. And it's the inner mind of the girl getting raped. What's going through her head while she's getting raped. Uh-huh. So after we come up with this scene, I'm like, I can play girl in distress. Sure, whatever. Yeah. So he's like, okay, like, let's go back to my place. We'll come up with whatever and set everything, up. Like, not actually do it then, but set everything up, whatever, logistics. And I'm like, cool. So I felt weird about it, though. But it was just, like, right up the hill from where we were. So I was like, okay. So he's like, park your car in my garage. And I was like, am I about to die right now? Like, I felt super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I parked the car in the garage and we go inside. And so we sit down on, like, opposing couches from each other. And he's like, okay, well, like, let's think of a location. And I'm like, trying to think of locations. And he's like, we could just shoot it here. And I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. Not really thinking anything of it. And then he's like, okay, well, we need to, like, find a guy. And I was like, well, I have this friend who's an actor. And, like, I'm sure he'll do it. No problem, whatever. Yeah. And he's like, well, I could do it. And I was like, well, won't you be directing it and shooting it?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, like, I can do both. And then, like, I got this, like overwhelming feeling of, like, fear of, like, like, that door is locked and, like, anything could happen.
Nobody knows where you are.
Exactly. Anything could happen right now. Yeah. And, like, and this bigger man is, like, across the couch from me. Like, and, and so, like, so I was like, okay, like, I went to the bathroom, I think, to, like, like, I texted my boyfriend at the time, and I was like, call me in 2 minutes. Like, I need to get out of here. And he didn't.
Oh,
I know. No. And so I, like, go out, and I'm like, I should go, like, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And so I left, and I didn't get raped, which was really, yeah, thanks. I, like, really was terrified. But then I had to see him again because I had the one more class. I did. I went to my last class and I performed my scene, and we literally didn't say one word to each other.
I think that you're really, really strong for going to your last class.
It was terrifying.
I honestly probably would have not.
Yeah.
I would have been like, and I'm like jumping out of planes, skydiving. I know. Brave.
Yeah.
But I honestly think that I would have been like, I never want to see him again. Like, I just want to avoid
the situation. It scared the shit out of me, yeah.
And, like, everything.
Yeah. Well, because I was like, what's going to happen? Is he going to say something to me? Like, he didn't. And that was it. And it was, I feel like he probably in his career has had girls be like, yeah, sure. Like, let's do this. But it was really, that was a terrifying moment. And, like, it's really just so sad that, like, that happens so often here.
Yeah.
In LA because everyone comes here and is like, I'll do anything to get to whatever, and then everyone expects it. Exactly. So then the people that are higher than us, like, really do expect, like,
they, like, take advantage of it.
Absolutely.
And they're like, well, if I'm going to help you get higher, then you're going to help me get hard.
Exactly.
And
it's so fucked up. I love how we went from dating in LA to rape.
Yeah.
And this is Brutally Honest KR. Anyway, we should probably wrap this up.
All right. Seems like it was a solid episode.
It was a solid episode. It was a little short, but...
I feel like we...
touched on a lot of things.
Got a lot of things in.
Touched a lot of things.
Had a lot of things
Actually,
touched.
didn't touch a lot of things, but yeah.
We talked about a lot of things that should not be touched.
Yeah. say one thing. If you were in a relationship, tell me something that you would look forward to. Like, what would make you feel good about being in a relationship?
Honestly, somebody just, like, asking me about my day. Like, genuinely
I ask you about your day. So, fuck you.
No, I know you do. And, like, my sister asks me too. And, like, I have, like, a couple of friends that, like, they'll ask me.
It's not the same.
But it's not the same as, like, somebody, like, having somebody, like, genuinely want to know about your day and, like, excited to hear about it. You know, like, somebody that you can then, like, make out with after.
Yeah,
because
totally.
I can't do that with you
right,
or
totally.
my sister.
Yeah. And then, okay, so tell... right. Although, that actually, we'll quickly dive into the story of how we met. Yeah? Okay.
Yes! Oh, do you want to bring Katrina in for this?
Yeah. Hi, Chia.
Hello.
Hello, Chia.
Good.
Welcome to our podcast. This is our first guest.
First guest.
Yeah. How exciting. But you should be honored to be our first guest.
Yeah.
Okay, so we met. We were filming
this really bad fake skit pretend music video. I don't even know.
For a YouTuber with fake followers.
Yeah. Yes.
Pretend followers, a pretend video.
Exactly, literally.
It was... I don't even know what to call it.
It was so bad. It was
bad.
Don't look it up. But we were at the YouTube space, and I had been asked... I don't know how you guys got involved.
Our terrible roommates, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
They knew...
They knew them, and they couldn't make it.
Or was
so
it,
then... don't say his name. Don't say names.
No, I don't. No, I'm not.
It was through the guy with the K name.
No, I know. That's what I... Yeah.
He knew my roommates.
Oh, okay,
and then they couldn't make it to that shoot.
He is another fucking...
Yeah.
Jesus.
So, he knew my roommates at the time.
Was he there?
And, yeah.
Oh.
And they couldn't make it, so then he asked me if I could make it, and he was like, oh yeah, bring friends. And I was like, well, I only have my sister.
Yeah.
So say friends.
Yeah. So and I had this friend from high school, or actually we didn't go to the same high school, but we went to like opposing high schools, I guess, like competing high schools. Neighboring high schools. There's the word. Yeah, so he was like, he had just moved to LA and he's in the YouTube scene, and he was like, hey, like, do you want to come film at the YouTube space, like, whatever? And I was like, sure, whatever. Mm-hmm. And so I was way later than everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone had been filming, and I got there, like, super late. Mm-hmm. Was this after we had already filmed, or?
It was, like, in between.
Okay.
It was in between different scenes that we were doing, because Katrina and I were sitting in this makeup room, and then they called me in to shoot something. So then I left, and Katrina stayed, and then some guy sat in my little makeup chair. So then when I got back, there wasn't anywhere to sit. So I just sat on Katrina's lap.
Yeah. And then I walked in, and I saw them, and I don't know if we had been introduced at that point.
No. I think we're still, like,
I think that's when they were introducing us.
I walked in to the room, and I saw them sitting there. Rachel was sitting on Katrina's lap, and literally my first thought was, I want to be friends with the hot lesbians. And then I later found out that they were sisters, and I was like, oh, okay.
But now she's friends with us.
Yeah, I became friends with the hot lesbians. Yes. But yeah, so then after that shoot, then we were at a shoot again with the same people.
Because we didn't learn our lesson.
We did not learn our... Oh, no, we didn't even learn it after that.
Yeah, no, we did a couple...
God! The things that are on the internet from that.
Oh, so bad.
I'm so embarrassed. But anyway.
Anybody that finds it gets 2 cookies.
No, don't. Just get the shame corner and do not show anyone. But yeah, so then we were at another shoot together and realized that we lived really close to each other and that we had all this stuff in common. And I offered to drive her home from the shoot. And then the whole way home, we were just chatting about whatever. And then I was like, I don't have friends. Let's be friends. And then I ended up living with you.
Yeah.
For a bit. And then we became really close when I was living here.
Yeah. I took her in. I was like, you're staying with me now.
Yep.
I've taken you in like a lost puppy.
Yep.
You're mine.
Yep.
And we love you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now we have our Snapchat group of the three of us is called Sister, Sister, Sister because I'm a fucking sister.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, let's wrap up.
Yes.
So thank you guys so much for joining us. We post every Thursday.
Yes.
And if you enjoy our content, please subscribe to our Patreon for more content. Thank you. Thank you.
The little secret extras
yes.
that you will get.
We do bloopers,
photo shoots,
other shit.
Behind the scenes.
Oh yeah, behind the scenes. And we also do a weekly 5-minute challenge for our Papa Bears, which is the largest tier that you can get. What?
For now.
And that's
patreon.com/WTFLA.
And then most of our links are
WTFLA
as well. You want to give your Insta?
My Instagram is Rachel Clugston, RACHELCLUGSTON.
You want to give your Insta?
Oh, my Instagram is KitKatChia, KITKATCHIA.
And mine's Katja Nelson, KAJANELSON. See you next Thursday. Bye.
Bye. Oh.